We don't have much time. We have like 30 minutes.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's get it. What's up, family? Oh, damn. I was way excited for that one.
You always excited.
I'm always mad excited. What's up, family? Welcome back to another episode of the Sit Down Talk. My name is Kier.
And I'm Noémie.
And we welcome you. Thank you for being here. Clap it up for you for coming in today.
I hate that the
Being
microphone
your
is
full,
like
most
in the way.
authentic self. Yeah, I know. And we just slap hands. We gotta figure that out.
It's just a lot of wires and like, there has to be an easier way.
Yeah, man.
There has to be.
We'll figure it out eventually. I almost grabbed the mic. What am I doing? If you are new here, then we welcome you. This is a dope sit-down talk. We get into a lot of stuff that you probably won't hear anywhere else. Look at the salesman in me coming out.
I know.
Huh?
I mean, you probably won't.
No,
Not
you,
like this.
You definitely won't, but you don't say that. You're supposed to be humble.
I mean, you know,
Yeah,
it's
you
popping.
right. You right.
So
You right.
that's why y'all here. Or y'all nosy.
If you are a group of people that I like to refer to as repeat offenders, welcome back. Always love seeing your face, kind of, because I don't see your face.
At
I'm looking
all.
into a camera. Let's move on.
Can I mention something about that real quick?
Mm-hmm.
This is completely unrelated to what this story is about, but you know we like to go off on tangents. So I was talking to Kay, one of my mom friend, and I was telling her, I'm like, you know what I realized? I have to limit my interaction with people. Like, I think people think that because like they see me online and they see me on the vlog that I'm like this extrovert that just loves being. I don't like being around people. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
I just want to stay at my house. And it's like, we literally are just talking to a camera. It's not like it's like an audience of people. And I can't imagine that I'll be able to give the same amount of energy if it was like 50 or like 100 people watching us.
You would.
I have to get into it though. Like, I'm going to be nervous until I sit there and get in my groove.
That's how it go. Because
Yeah.
we're not really talking to a camera. We're talking to each other and the camera's just
Got
recording
it.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, because when I'm doing like recording by myself, I get nervous because I'm like, I sound dumb. Like, what are you saying, Noémie? You sound stupid.
Nah, man, not at all. But I feel you. I got the same like delusion. Sometimes I'm in front of the camera like, dog, what am I talking about? Like I always.
But it feels so natural when you do it. You're so good at it.
It's just I've learned to just work my way through it. I see these
nerve-wracking.
Instagrammers who can just sit in front of a camera and talk for an hour, and I'm like, dog.
You're
how
not
do
tired
you
of hearing
do
yourself?
that? I'm always tired of hearing my own voice. I'm always tired of seeing my own face. But I love doing this. I love doing the sit down talk.
Yeah.
So thank you. Welcome all of y'all.
Yeah,
Happy
that was
to
my
have
little
y'all
tangent.
here.
Don't worry about me.
So today we are talking about a lot of different things, but it stems from a conversation you and I had a few days ago about parenthood.
Yeah.
By this time, you already know we are expecting our newest baby, and you know that it's a girl. And we're really excited about her being here.
Yeah.
We've had, the last time we saw them, we just found out.
Yeah.
So the feelings were raw.
Yo, I mean, yeah, we literally read the
Roller coaster.
email
Right on
live.
Yeah, right here. Right here.
My baby girl.
I was after we got off of camera, I was disappointed a little bit. The disappointment started creeping in a little bit more, and that's just because whatever my expectations were, they didn't get hit, you know.
Yeah.
And you'll forever be disappointed when your expectations, you know, when that sweet spot don't get hit. But
Yeah.
on YouTube, there's this little, there's these two girls named Safari and Sakura.
Oh yeah,
And
E's favorite. She thinks those are her
loves them.
cousins.
Yeah, the cute little girls. They do adventures. It's like a kids' play channel. And watching those two little girls
You
got
said
me
they're
so
4-year
excited.
difference,
I
too?
think they're like 3 and some change, so
Yeah.
almost a 4-year difference.
Yeah.
And they so beautiful, and they love each other so much, and they have each other to depend on.
Yeah.
And we've been talking a lot about like this second baby. And if you read the title, you know, we starting to think about it more and more.
It's not even thinking about it. I think the reality of like the chaos of the situation is hitting us. Like,
not the romanticized two babies holding each
the
other.
romanticized, I mean, that's definitely still there for me, at least. Like, I'm just 2 little girls. Like, oh, how could you not? Like, how could you not? And what if Sydney looks just like me?
Oh, you said her name.
I had 2 little girls that look just like me.
I know. I hope this one look more like me.
I think she will. I mean, who knows?
knows?
Who knows? But like the excitement of having like 2 little, I love being a girl mom. And I feel so confident about like the girl part of it because like I did it with E. You know what I mean? Like who knows what this little girl's personality is going to be like. But I feel like if you got a mom like mine and a daughter like E, I think I could handle anything personally.
Getting pulled from both sides.
Right. But I think like the biggest issue is like, how do you actually handle the day to day? Like how, like I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted now. I miss my husband.
Yeah.
Like I gotta share him with this little
Yeah.
girl. Like this little girl. But I don't know if this is like just pregnancy hormones and emotions and stuff, but I get jealous. Like I get jealous because it's like I don't feel like I have you to myself ever anymore. You know,
Yeah.
unless it's like work related or like something that you just can't be involved with. But like I don't know. And it's just like that part of me is kind of like, okay, well, how do I mentally prepare myself for having 3 girls in the house sharing one man?
Yeah, I didn't realize it until the other day. So Noémie's putting her makeup on. I think this was yesterday, and she was like, "Man, I miss you." And you know, it's two sides of me. There's a part of me that knows exactly what she's talking about. Because even though we still do our partial quarantine life.
Yeah,
like we ain't
yeah.
fully outside yet, but like. We see each other every day. I'm like, how do you miss me? Like, we're always on top of each other in this townhouse. And then there's another part of me that's like, yeah, I get it. Because the time that I'm here, I'm either I have to work, I have to do,
like I miss my friend.
or I have to be with Eve
Yep.
because you just got into the second trimester.
Ooh, this first trimester was horrible. I mean, it's still pretty bad right now. It's just not as bad as it was.
Yeah, you
before.
soldiering through, but
Speaking
it's
of which,
tough.
can I have some of your sparkling water? Sorry.
But nah, it's cool. But you were like, yeah, I miss you, and I get jealous sometimes because E gets all this time with you. And for a second, I was like, damn, I feel terrible for my wife, man. Like she doesn't have the access to me that she really, really wants right now. And the other side of me was like, oh shit, I feel terrible for me. I'm about to have to figure out how to divide attention amongst a wife who is losing me in terms of like full attention.
Yeah.
A 4-year-old that's about to be a first-time big sister has to split her daddy with another child, and a newborn that I'm going to have to build a bond with.
Right. And she don't
Lord,
know
she's
nothing yet. Yeah. That part is tough. Like I just feel like all the things that we were worried. So sorry, let me backtrack a bit. So we did a video about a year and a half ago where we talked about a second baby and all like the pros and the cons, and like I cringed a little bit watching that portion of the video because we ain't no shit. But you know what? If you've been watching us, we've been doing a sit down talk for what, 4 years now?
About 3-4 years,
Yeah, 3-4 years. And if you've watched us from the beginning and you've watched us now, like we are very transparent with our growth. And we are definitely the type of people, like extremists in the way, like when we feel that type of way, and it ain't never gonna change. It changes all the time. But you know, I think both of us are really open about accepting that change and accepting that growth.
I am now, yeah.
I mean,
I am now.
well, yeah, but that's the growth. That's how we grew.
It forces you to do that.
It forces you,
yeah.
especially when you can go back and look at yourself and hear the words and the things and the thoughts that you said.
How
You're
convicted
like,
you were about stuff that was not true 2 months
right.
after taping.
And today,
that.
me, it's like, chick, you don't know shit. Like, you don't know nothing. You have no idea what you're talking about. But anyway, I say all of that to say I was cringing watching the video, and I realized the things that we were worried about as far as a second baby, like, they don't even matter. We were like, are you ready? What's ready?
There's no ready.
Ready?
So you've watched the video where Noémie talked about, like, we made a conscious decision to have another kid.
Yeah.
And it's a lot that went into that decision. But, like, it's important that you know something about us. Like, we're not typical parents. I feel like there are some people who tie their identity very heavily into being parents. Like, my babies, I love my babies. And I think that's beautiful. I felt like a shitty dad for a long time because fatherhood is not my identity.
Yeah.
It's a part of what I do, and it's a piece
Yeah.
of who I am. But
Same.
it's a very small part of me.
Yeah.
And I feel like with parenthood, it scales. Some people are more on the 100%. Some people are more on the 10. You're not a lesser parent because that's a lesser part of your identity. You still put 100% in.
Right.
But
And there's no shame in that.
nah, there's no shame in that. There's no shame in that. You know, everybody's not a super parent.
Right.
And I feel like
Everyone can't be. If everyone's a super parent, we'll all be like the same kinds of humans out here. Like you said, it's situational. Like it depends on where you are in your life and how much of you you're willing to give that situation. But I feel like both of us still give 100% of us when we're there.
we do, but we're also very committed to our individualism.
Right.
So
Right.
that's one of the things that sparked this conversation. Like, yo, how we gonna have to struggle to keep us good?
Yo.
How we gonna keep ourselves good as
We did not
individuals?
think about that. Like, I mean, I feel like we did, but we didn't. We also, I feel like a year ago, E was a totally different kid that
Facts.
required totally different, like just completely different things from us. And everyone always says that, like, don't marry the life that you're living while your child is at a specific age because it's always changing. And I felt like we knew that, but we didn't know. The same
Yeah.
way when people are like, oh, your life is going to be crazy when you have a kid. Like, yeah, but how? Like, I need specifics in order
You
to,
want to
like,
go? You want to go into how it was crazy the first time?
go ahead. Let's do it.
So the first time was terrifying for a lot of different reasons. For one, you and I weren't solid. We weren't solid. It could, yeah. Oh
Just the
yeah,
ice?
that's the fridge busting off like that. Sound like a gang fight.
That's what gang fights sound like.
It sounds like what conservative news media
Right,
thinks gang fights sound
right,
like.
right.
But stupid, yo, stupid.
Oh, man.
What the was I talking about?
We were talking about how, like, how it was like the difference in crazy.
Oh yeah, it was
like,
crazy.
We weren't good.
We weren't good. Like our
Yeah, we
relationship
weren't
could have
good.
went either way.
We weren't
at
good,
that
y'all.
point. We didn't have bread.
We had no money.
I had just got a new job. She had just got a new
We
job.
were overworked.
Man, we were working like crazy, commuting. It was.
You weren't home.
I was never home, and I had just started grad school.
Yep. Kier was working 9 to 5, internship after school, classes on the weekends. Sunday was the only day we had him, and we wanted to let him sleep. You know what I mean? Like, I just,
As much as you can sleep.
how did we do it?
We did, and that's why we weren't ready the first time. And E, like, we love her so much. She's everything, and she
Yeah.
came out to be a really brilliant, smart, thoughtful, beautiful girl.
Amazing.
This kid is coming into like like financially, we are in a much better
Much
place,
better.
like night and day.
We would have never expected we would ever be in the financial place we are now.
Nah, man, nah. So that's one check off. Time wise, you're working from home. You're only going to be working on site 3 days a week. I don't think you're gonna have that job long between
Yeah.
me and you.
Yeah.
And my time now belongs to me.
Yeah, you're working 100% for yourself from home or wherever you feel like working that day.
If I want to take 3, 4, 5 days off and I just want to be with you and the baby, I can do that. And I had
Yeah.
to split the time with y'all in my corporate job when he was first born.
And school.
Listen, and internship. I
God
think that
damn.
this is going to be crazy, but that shit was nuts. And maybe I'll look at this in 8 months and be like, no, that was actually easier than
Yeah.
this. Who knows?
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Man,
Because
the mental preparation is there, though.
I just feel like hard
I guess.
isn't a complex enough word. You know what I mean? It's not
Facts.
so much that it's hard. It's kind of like, let me just simplify it. Like more money, more problems. That
Man,
concept.
That's
And
true,
I just
though.
feel like we're deciding to have another kid. We're prioritizing our mental health. Work isn't as important as it used to be 4 years ago to us. You know what I mean? Like, and not to say that I don't pride myself on the work that I do, but my mental health and the happiness of my family is way more important than my job at this point. And like, luckily I'm at a job that is super flexible, but if I wasn't, I would not be stressing myself. Like even the video of the second baby, I was so stressed in that video because I had a work assignment to do or, something happened at work. Oh, I remember what happened. But just some BS happened at work and it was really consuming me. I would not allow that to consume me the way that it did today. I would never let that happen.
You've done a much better job of letting go of things that give
Yeah.
you anxiety.
Yeah.
And you're like me. We have really bad work anxiety.
Oh,
The
so
manager
bad.
send you an emails like, hey,
I don't even read it yet and
we
I'm
need
stressed
to
out.
talk. Like,
I'm about to get fired.
Damn, here it
And
go.
it never
About to
happened.
live on the street.
It's never
all my
that big of
fault.
a deal.
It's never.
We definitely make it out to be much bigger than it is.
Catastrophizing.
But the reason I go back to saying like more money, more problems, like it's not work that's gonna give me anxiety. It's gonna be like, am I showing Emery enough love? Does she feel jealous of the baby?
parent guilt.
Like, or the relationship guilt? Like, are me and Kier good? Like, can I be fully transparent right now?
It's your oyster boy.
First trimester, I think some people have like a crazy like sex drive and all of that stuff, like being nauseous. Sometimes I don't want people to touch me. Smells, I could smell this sparkling water lemon. If I'm not feeling a lemon, I'm a gag.
Real bad.
I'm a gag. And it's like I could be fine 1 second and then want to throw up the next second. It's just, my anxiety is over me and my body right now. My anxiety and sadness is over like not knowing how I'm going to feel every 5 minutes. And that's what makes me sad. Like that's what makes me feel uneasy. And it's like the work anxiety has just been replaced by a different kind of anxiety.
Yeah,
so I
swap
think
'em
we're
out.
always going to be stressed and we're always going to, feel that anxiety because we want to be good parents. That's where it all came from. You wanted to be a good worker or a good employee. You want to be a good partner, a good spouse. You want to be a good parent. So I think because of the type of people we are, it's always going to be something.
Yeah.
I don't ever see us being like these totally zen, like, oh, I'm gonna just let everything roll off my back.
Nah, I'm
Maybe
gonna
in
freak
20
out
years.
about some.
Maybe in 20 years, but not in 9 months.
And to expect that
Yep.
from each other is crazy in 9 months. We were talking, and I was telling you, like, man, I feel like I don't know if I'm really fulfilling all my roles as like husband and father.
Yeah.
Because
That's been on your heart for a minute.
it has. And I watched the old video and I was so full of self-doubt. And I went back and like, why was I tripping like that? I was doing an amazing job. And I
were.
know I'm killing it. I know I'm killing it. But
You are
man,
killing
it's a lot of different pieces there. But I remember you came back to me because I said, man, I feel like I'm too mean to Emery because she Boo Boo, you gonna watch this one day, and Daddy's gonna have to apologize. But right now, my daughter is the most annoying person on the planet, dog. It's not even a close
I think it's
second.
all 3-4 years
It is. It is. I heard another 5-year-old kid talking, and then I went to the store
stories,
and the store and the dinosaur guy, Daddy, the dude with the car, the store,
what are you saying?
what?
That was you too, I'm sure.
Like, why do you hate me?
You
Why
were-
do I have to listen to
We
this?
were all those kids.
Yeah, we were.
We were all those kids.
It's terrible.
It's like, it's funny in hindsight. It's just not in the moment. Like in the moment, you also need to learn how to like, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Like you don't want to placate her.
I keep it too.
Like
I keep it
you
too
keep
real.
it too real.
I keep it too real.
You keep
with
it
her.
too real. Sometimes you just gotta let, really, baby? Wow.
I'm
that
learning.
was so exciting.
I'm learning because in the first trimester, Noémie could do two things. She could sleep and she could almost want to throw up.
Yep.
That was it.
That was it.
So I had to spend time with E, like get her out the house, and she and I have conflicting personalities. Either we in love or we in conflict.
I don't think
There's
y'all
no
have
in the middle.
conflicting personalities. I think
We're
y'all
the
have the
same
exact
person.
same personality. It's
I
like
can't
when you're
stand
ready,
me,
when you're
man.
ready to talk, all eyes need to be on you. You need to be paying attention and you need to listen. When you don't feel like listening, get the F away from me. Ease the same way. Like when she don't want to be bothered, you want to kiss up on her, and like she be
Yeah, I'm
like,
trying to
"Yo,
get some love. What's
fam,
good?"
Like get off of me." What about
don't
when I
like
wanted
that.
to be all up on you?
Yeah, I wasn't ready.
See?
Yeah, we're
Y'all need
ships
to get on the
passing in
same
the
page.
night. We're ships passing in the night.
My friend was telling me that her daughter and her husband got so close after her son was born because she's like, I can't. I just can't.
Yeah.
Like, I can't go. Like, my daughter wants me to go play outside. I ain't going outside. Like, I'm not going to the playground. I'm not climbing up, something. And then she's just like, whereas, like, her daughter was such a mommy's girl kind of like in the beginning that when, she was pregnant with her second and after the son was born, they had to be together all the time. And now they're just so close. Like, they're in sync. And I just think that, like, I truly believe that's what's going to happen with you and Eve.
But this is a thing that makes me not really worry about it as much. You and I, we always find a way to get everything back in sync.
Yeah.
What were you saying? I feel like I'm mean to Emery. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I feel like you're so patient.
I feel like I'm mean to her.
No, baby, you are so patient with Booby. Sometimes she's completely out of line, and I be like, oh, no, Amy gonna destroy her. And what you do is you get really low, and you look her right in the face, and with the most forgiving, like, tone of voice, you say, boo-boo, that wasn't very nice. And then you give her the corrective words. You don't ever, like, berate her. You don't ever make her feel small. And I know you can't see it in a moment, but, baby, you do a great job with Emery because she's a lot. And you don't react to what she did. You react to what the problem is so that you can get like a behavior that makes sense the next time. And I know it's hard to do, but
It's
I
so
admire
hard.
that.
I've been wanting to like.
I admire that so much. I'm trying to be more like that. And like our parent style, we don't talk about parenting a lot on the sit down talk, but our parenting style is very team us.
Oh, for sure.
united front. Even
For
if we don't
sure.
necessarily agree, like we'll get to a point of agreement like in the moment because it's us versus them.
We got eye language. I look at you and I'm like,
Yeah.
what you think? Yeah, no, I don't know, baby. You might have to ask daddy.
One of them that I was always afraid of is the one where mom makes dad the villain.
Oh, yeah, we've seen it. Remember at the hotel?
At the hotel.
How old was he?
Mommy, can I have some candy? Go ask daddy. And then kid shuffles, daddy, can I have some candy? It's like, no. And the kid cries and like, oh, come here, baby. Come on, daddy's so mean. And it's like, man, that is going to come to bite y'all in the ass.
If it hasn't already.
Oh, man, that was what, 3 years ago?
I just felt like there was already tension in that relationship. That's why that statement was made.
I mean,
Like,
yeah.
clearly mommy and daddy beefing about something.
Oh, what's a marriage without tension?
But
somewhere.
that's wild. That's wild because we don't know these kids. We just met them.
Yeah.
They just came into the relationship.
You new here, bro. And for all we know, like those parents probably that was just a one-time occurrence. But if that was indicative of like what goes on frequently in the house, I could see that being a problem. And you and I never want that. So I'd be like, yeah, baby, you can have that. And then only be like, and I'd be like, you know what? Daddy made a mistake.
Yep.
How about this? You can have that later. But right now, here are your options. And if she
Yeah.
still cries, I'd be like, hey, I'm sorry. I don't put it back on Noémie. I'm the one who originally talked. All right, cool. Hey, that's on me. My bad. I made a mistake. But guess what, boo-boo? Mistakes happen, and it's okay to be sad. After you're crying, let's figure out what we're going to do.
And that's usually enough for E. Like, that's usually...
Sometimes.
But when it's not, it's still not that big of a deal.
Because we don't
Like
make
the
it
whole
that big
gum
of a
thing.
deal.
She's
Oh,
obsessed
God, her
with
and the
chewing
damn
gum. What I start to do is like, okay, mommy's going to think about it. And then she'll ask me an hour later, did you think about it? I'm like, maybe we got to wait till after lunch. Or maybe we have to, it's just, listen, I run things. I run this shit, okay? You're not gonna bully me into giving you some candy 10 o'clock in the morning.
But we gotta stay united on that.
We
man.
will. I think it's because we talked about this before we even had kids.
That was our philosophy,
yeah.
because that was like I grew up in a single parent household, but that was your parents' philosophy,
Hell
and my
yeah.
mom was very much so like
Hell
whatever
yeah.
grandma say, like I'm not overriding that, because when you undermine the other parent, you give the children permission to do so too.
Yep.
Just because your power dynamic is different doesn't mean they're gonna understand that. They are an equal part of your ecosystem, and they're gonna act the same way that you do. And I don't want that.
It's so hard to get back on track once that happens. Like even when my parents, after they were divorced, and I feel like I've talked about this so many times, even after they were divorced and one of them was clearly wrong, you know what I mean? Let's say my dad was wrong in this situation. My mom would always be like, I have a right to be upset. You don't. You're the child. That is your father. And like you will never, address your father that way. You will never talk to your father, like period. Like regardless of how she felt about him in a specific moment, that's her business and not mine. And my mom, to this day, my mom is like that. You know what I mean? And it's just like I've seen how amazing of like parents that they are to me, and even like they're able to co-parent great with me. Most people didn't even know that they were divorced
For a long time.
for a long time. So that's just something that I've seen growing up, and like I've seen how that can not work.
It could go the other way.
It can go left so bad,
but
so fast.
But we're conscientious of that, and I don't know, man. It's. I feel like I'm stupid. So in football,
Hold on, let me prepare myself. So I feel like you were about to say, I feel like I'm stupid.
yeah, I feel like I'm stupid.
Why?
So I feel like when somebody's too like, and this is total judgmental language, but this is just me being me.
Judgment alert. Judgment alert.
We've been judging this whole joint so far, so it is.
But
what
we're
it
judging
is.
ourselves, so.
And others.
I mean, if you feel some type of way, we can talk about it. But we talking about us.
Kier does not want to talk about it. DM Noémie.
I want to talk about it.
So in football, like the backup quarterback, sometimes he comes in and he sucks. The quarterback's the guy that throws the ball.
Got it.
So sometimes the guy who's the understudy to the main guy who throws the ball, Jesus Christ. Okay. So sometimes when people do stuff, they have incredible luck the first time, and there's this theory that they're too dumb to know how much they're supposed to suck.
Oh.
So
why couldn't you just say that?
Because I wasn't sure it'll fly, but
Okay.
now, yeah. Looking back, that's all I had to do. They don't know how much they're supposed to suck, so they go out there and they excel. And like, I feel like I'm on the inverse of that with like the second baby. I'm like, hey, like the first time was that hard. Like, how hard can this be?
Oh, God.
I think
I don't
every
have that
bad
mentality at all.
decision that was ever made has started with the thought, well, how
How
bad
bad
can
can it
this
be?
be?
Really bad.
Terrible.
What are you most
Come on,
we're
positivity.
gonna do negative first, and then we'll end it with some positive
Yeah, you know,
shit. Because we've been venting.
hey, listen, I'm gonna complain first. Like, I'm a
Yeah.
huge fan of getting that off,
Yes,
and
he is.
then you have the surface. You got a nice, clean surface
Yeah,
to
it's like
find
now
a
that I got it
solution.
off, let's talk about the
The
rainbows
positive.
and the lollipops and ice cream and stuff. So what
Yeah.
are you most afraid of with this second baby?
Um,
Real talk, real vulnerability, not surface level shit. Like what's keeping you up at night?
the first I used to be afraid of, I think that last video that we did, I said that I was afraid that you wouldn't be able to get the marriage that you wanted with 2 kids. I don't work as a traditional 9 to 5 no more, and my finances aren't as much of a hurdle anymore. So I'm
yeah.
not worried about that. I think
Yeah, me neither.
you can, well, I don't know if you can have the marriage you want because that will require us to have no kids.
Right.
But I think I
Sorry.
think what we
I
can
laughed
work
too
out.
loud.
Nah, it's no such thing, man. Joy is just loud, B. But like it's I can figure that part out. The part I'm afraid of is how tired I'm gonna be from having to put this like, oh, Sydney, Emery, Noémie, Sydney, Noémie, and I'm gonna be sick of y'all. And I'm
be
gonna just
so
be like,
sick of
hey,
us.
nobody talk to me today. But daddy, no. But baby, no. No. Nobody talk
It's
to me
okay, we're
today.
gonna be sick of you too.
Please send me away. Send
I
me.
would love to send you away.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
For real?
Absolutely.
Emery is getting me so excited about this baby. She is so in love and she's so excited and she's so ready and she kisses Noémie's stomach every day.
It's the
She
most
says
beautiful
hi
thing.
and bye to the baby. And I'm like, yo, this was the right choice. There's gonna be moments where we're gonna feel the otherwise, you know, but like we already in our 30s. By the time Booby's my age, I'm gonna be a very old man. And I don't want her having to figure out how to take care of the both of us by herself.
You'll be in your 60s.
I'll be almost in my 70s.
Yeah.
And I have friends who are taking care of aging parents. Like our generation, I think we're starting to realize that our parents are getting older. And they're not going to be able. We're going to have to take care of old people, man, in our 40s and in our 50s. And I don't want that to be Booby Bird, and her life can't be to its fullest. My grandma has dementia and she barely opens her eyes. She can't talk. She can't walk. She can't do anything. My aunts have each other. And if it was, I don't know what they would do if they didn't.
It'll be hard, man. It'll be hard. That's what I'm also afraid of too. Like with my dad getting older. Like my dad has a 3-year-old, 2-year-old. So like I feel like when you have a toddler, you just age faster and quicker in a short amount of time. And I'm so worried about him. Like I'm so worried about him and what life's gonna look like in the next 10 years, 20 years. Like my little sister has an older father. You know what I mean? My little sister has a father in his 50s and she's 2.
Yeah.
That's so tough. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna depend on her to help me take care of my daddy. She's gonna be too young. That should not be her responsibility at such a young age. So it's just like, dang, like I gotta figure this out by myself. You know, luckily we're in a much better financial place. So like I definitely feel more able to take care of him if need be, but
Money helps, but it's bandwidth.
yeah, it's the emotional like the emotional toll that like even the thought of it already I'm dealing with, you know what I mean? With my mom, not so much. I feel like with my mom's side of the family, we have a lot more fit people. You know what I mean? We take care of our people in a different way than like with my dad. It's really just me and him. You know, it's not as big as a family as it is with my mom's side. So I'm really not worried about my mom at all.
Yeah.
Because between me, my cousins, and my aunts, we got everybody. Every time one of my aunts is sick or anytime something happens, like the sisters take care of each other.
And I think that speaks to like having more hands on
Yeah.
deck to take care of sick family.
Yeah. Man.
It's hard to look impaired 20 years down the road because you don't know what you'll see. We're always taught with goal setting to make sure that you have smart and realistic and specific and measurable goals, but like 20 years down the road, you just kind of throwing shit there, and hopefully you're throwing things down the hole, and hopefully when you get to the bottom, that stuff is still there. And like that's how I look with the baby. Like 20 years from now, and this is going to be a wise investment. The first 2 years is going to be so tough, though, man.
So what, aside from like time and just bandwidth and stuff, is there anything else that you're worried about?
Nope.
Let me think. What am I worried about? I'm worried about what Emery said about,
right.
huh?
No, you finish your point. I actually lied.
Go ahead, say it. Finish your point.
I have a fear about like postpartum. What happens after the baby gets here?
Like postpartum depression?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because the beginning of the pregnancy has been so tough. And like with E, it was easy throughout for you.
Yeah.
Like even after, like you had a little baby blues.
Yeah.
But you didn't like slip down. And that's such a tricky thing because you gotta navigate through your stuff. It's saying if it happens, like you gotta navigate, you still need my support. Then there's like a new baby that both of us have to jump with, and then we still have E. And I don't know if a new mom gets enough of a break to tackle something that big, because even when I try to steal E away, she is magnetically connected to Noémie. She won't leave. I'm like a bouncer at a bougie nightclub. I'm like, you having problems? You need me to take her? She's like, nah, she fine.
When I think about everything that I was handling when E was around, and this was a time where I wasn't asking for help. I wasn't asking for support. I'm not going to say I didn't trust anybody with E, but like I didn't trust that I had the support to ask. And I managed pretty well. And I feel like with this baby, like I'm coming into motherhood a second time with a much stronger support system, a better understanding of what postpartum is. I didn't think about postpartum at all with E. It wasn't something I was anticipating. It wasn't something that I was prepared for. And I feel like with this, like I have the tools, but I also have the things to look for. You know what I mean? Like I just feel better equipped to recognize and deal with it if it happens. So I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen, but I don't feel as helpless as I think I would have felt if I had postpartum the first time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And I think that's a useful tool to like help get out of it. The part to me that still like scares me beyond that is how hormonally based it is.
Oh, absolutely.
And
it could happen.
yeah.
It could totally happen. But I feel like the issue is that people don't recognize it and don't know what to do. Not that it happens. Like
I agree.
that's
That's a good
that's
point.
the hardest part is women have it and they don't know that they have it. And because they don't know that they have it or they're afraid to talk about it, they can't get the help that they need.
And I get it. I get I get not even seeing it because there's so much going on.
Oh, for sure.
Like by the time you put your head up to take a breath, like your kid is like almost a year and a half.
Right. So that's why I'm a little bit more hopeful that I'll be okay, because I'm not coming from a place of not knowing what it is. I'm coming from a place of knowing exactly what it is and knowing that I have the help and the tools. I think if you walk into motherhood saying, I'm going to try to stop myself from having postpartum, I don't think that works. But if it's like, I'm going to walk into motherhood knowing that this is a real possibility, and if it does happen, this is my support team that's going to help me figure out my next steps, and these are the steps that I'm going to take. And like, that's why I'm not, I mean, when you're married to a therapist, these are the kinds of things that, you're able to get. I'll even say it's not just about being married to a therapist. It's being married to somebody that is committed to my emotional growth as much as it, it's internal as much as it's related to you. You know what I mean? It's not just like you care about my emotions based on how I treat you or how our relationship runs. You care about how I feel about myself.
Yeah,
you care about my mental well-being in a way where it doesn't relate to you at all. And I don't know that everybody has that, but that's something that I really appreciate that I have with you.
That makes me sad that people don't have that level of support, but hopefully
everyone doesn't have the mental capacity to know how to support people to do that. Like, it's not easy. It hasn't always been easy for me to be there for people emotionally.
Yeah, I think that's something that is dope to talk more about. I'm trying to get out of habit saying we need to talk more about. Like, stop saying it. Just talk more about it. Be the change you seek. Stop complaining and do something. But I wanna like be more vocal about that. in what I don't know and what I can't see and what I'm not 100% sure of, instead of like trying to pretend like I got it or I fully understand.
Yeah.
You know,
It's okay to not know.
it's okay to not know. It's okay to
okay.
not be sure.
It's okay to ask questions, and it's okay to change your mind. Like, I feel like a lot, just as it relates to postpartum depression, I know a lot of women who say I didn't have it, and then 4 years later they look back and they're like, oh shit. Yes, I did.
I think I did, yeah. And that's okay. That's okay.
That's totally
Yeah.
okay. Like, and if postpartum was something that was so easy to recognize and diagnose, then it wouldn't be this much of a conversation. And I think like that just shows like how crazy it can be, and how, you know, it's just not easy to spot all the time. Like, even when you say like the baby blues, like, I don't like, that's not even a scientific term. Like, that could mean anything. Like, maybe I did have postpartum. I'll check back in with y'all in a couple years and let y'all know. But
once you marinate on it enough.
Yeah. There were absolutely moments, you know, where I was just like, what the hell am I doing? Like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. I want to run away.
You talking about this pregnancy or the first?
No, I'm talking about the first.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there were moments, and I know there are going to be moments the second time, but I have a tribe of people where I feel confident that I can go to them and tell them, like, the inner, deepest, darkest thoughts that I'm having, and somebody will be like, same,
what?
sis.
I feel you.
Same,
they
sis.
say that.
And this will pass, you
They
know?
always say, like, misery loves company, but, like, so does loneliness, so does fear, so does confusion, you know, so does minimalization, you know, all those things love company, too, because sometimes it's enough to know that you're not the only one that feels the way you feel.
That is so important for me. Like, just as a
too.
woman in general, like navigating motherhood and womanhood and wifehood and all the hoods.
Where your hood at?
But like, I don't know, like moving forward, like I feel stressed and scared and anxious, but I feel like I'm going to be okay, because all those feelings are normal, and I don't feel bad for feeling any of these things. I don't feel bad for being annoyed at my 3-year-old, you know, all the time. Sometimes I do, but like, then I have a conversation with other moms and they're like, sis, like, I don't like her either.
Or you have a conversation
today.
with your husband, and
Right.
you're like, you too?
Yeah.
Like,
and then you have those moments where I'm like, I'm also obsessed with E. Like, I'm just as crazy about her as she is with me. She wants to climb into my uterus, and sometimes if she's not in the bed next to me when I wake up, I'm like, where the hell is my child? You slept in your room all night?
I've never felt that way.
You be missing her when she gone, though.
It don't take nothing for me to miss her, man. It don't take
Like,
15
especially
minutes.
she
Where
spend
my
the
baby
night.
at? Yeah.
She's, or like when we be fighting about who gonna pick her up.
No, I want to go pick her
Yeah,
up.
I'm like, what? Let's go together.
Okay.
Boobie, if you're watching this 10 years from now, we feel the same way about you as you feel about us.
Yeah. The feeling is mutual, my love.
The feeling is mutual. We know you love us, and we know you can't stand us too, but you know, it's the love. We're your family. And you too, Sydney. You in the mix too, girl.
I don't know you like that yet.
Watch.
Speak for yourself.
All right, 15 years from now,
don't know
it's
you.
okay, Sydney. I know your daddy's obsessed with you. You can't go nowhere without his big old eye looking to see where you at. So I want to end this on a positive note. So we talked a lot about like the stress and the anxiety, but like, what are some things that you're just like incredibly excited about, whether it's just Sydney or just like expanding our family and what that looks like? Like, what are you just excited about?
I remember when Eve, before she was born, I kept wondering, like, what is your face going to look like? Trying to think of what your baby's face will look like is like trying to think of a color that you've never seen before.
Yo.
Like, can you think of what a color you've never seen before looks like? No. Like, it's a billion
That's a
possible
great
color combinations.
analogy.
I have no idea
can't
what this
even
baby
conceptualize. Remember when we thought she was going to look just like you from the 3D ultrasound?
We did a 3D ultrasound. She looked like me, was
She looked
born, and
just
she looked like
like-
George Costanza
She looked like
from
an old white
season
man.
2 to 6 of Seinfeld.
She
Like,
was
that was
so
her swag.
wrinkly and light skinned. It
That was
just
her
didn't
energy.
make any sense.
And
Like, why she's
now-
so light?
That's just, I think, that's how babies come out the oven, man.
But I've seen like babies come out looking darker than that. She was so light, but she changed
It was
color.
fast.
Like every 2 weeks, she was a different shade of brown.
Yeah, she needed a little. They had the sun kiss her skin a little bit.
Right.
I'm excited about like what. It's not so much the way Sydney would look, but what her personality is going to be. Because everybody always talk about how all your kids they're different. Like they swag is different. They got different personality. I can't wait to see those two interact, and I can't wait to hold a new baby again. Oh, when
We
you take
held.
them up out of
Remember,
the
we
crib.
held your. We
Oh, my
held
line
his
brother's
his
baby.
line brother's baby. We clearly don't know how to hold newborns anymore.
We
I was like, what do
lost
I
it.
do?
I couldn't get the neck right. I'm like, oh,
We
I'm
used to
twisting this
have
baby
the.
head.
Remember, we used to have the send. What is it? The trade off.
handoff?
The handoff used to be.
Scoop.
Now we're like.
Flawless. We always say you can tell new parents by the way they hand the newborn off. Like, oh, y'all ain't got the chemistry right yet. After a while, you like the Harlem Globetrotters handing that
We
baby
off,
off.
man. We
Oh,
ain't never had to
yeah.
hand off a baby in like 4 years.
Oh, baby, draft.
Oh my God, I'm washing all her clothes as soon as we get them in drift, like 3
Smelling
times.
that.
Just to, I'm gonna wash them and put them in a Ziploc bag so they can still smell like that.
When you take them out the stroller and the legs curl up like
Yeah.
little shrimp, little fried shrimp, little shrimp legs.
Yeah.
What you excited about?
I'm excited to see Emery obsessed with the baby.
She
Like,
already is, man.
Emery's
It's
obsessed
gonna
with
go
babies.
crazy.
He has friends that had babies. I have friends that have little babies, and she's just like if y'all see Emery's personality, she literally talks like a YouTube star,
You
like
guys.
a child. She's like, oh my goodness. I'm like,
That's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life,
yeah,
Daddy.
that's how she talks. Like that's her ordinary
It's her
everyday
Yeah,
language.
it's just her swag.
And it's just the cutest thing in the world. And like, that's just who she's not doing it for attention. Like,
Nah.
whether you're there or not,
She's
that's
still
how
gonna do
she
that.
talks.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, like seeing her with like other little babies. And then to know that like Sydney will be her baby sister. And like E loves to put on a show. Like, I just see Sydney being in her little rocker, not even able to see Emery. Like, you know, babies can't see nothing. And she's just there, and Emery is just putting on a show
bobblehead.
for her little sister. And like, I'm just really excited to see that relationship. I'm really excited to see you and the girls. Like
The
the
girls.
girls, like the Gaines girls. Like, I'm just really excited to see Kier be able to stay home and spend time with Sydney every single, like that's not something that I saw with Emery. Even the moments that I did saw were beautiful, but you were so sad that you couldn't see her and you didn't understand how much she loved you.
I had to hear it secondhand.
Yeah, listen, E, from the time she could hear to now, when she hears the door like rattle, you hear a key in there, especially when we lived in the apartment, she would she would just pop up and look and smile because she knew her daddy was coming in through the door. Even when we moved here, E was like, what, 1.5? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was like 1.5. I remember this was before she was even like talking, and I just had a video. I was video recording her, and you just happened to come home, and she heard the numbers on the door, and she's like, Daddy? And then she just looked and waited for you. You took forever to come inside. I don't know what you were doing, but she was just waiting for you. And it's just like, just that excitement. Like, I've never seen Emery get that excited about me because I feel like I'm just always there. Like, I'm just always there.
Nah, she get amped about you.
But because I'm with her, you know what I mean? I see the excitement for you, and I'm sure you see the excitement for me, and it's not
Ain't
the
that
other
how
way.
it be going?
But I'm just like, I can't wait for 2 little girls to be running towards the door, waiting for you to come home.
Kissing me on the same time of both
Yeah.
cheeks. Come
You know
on,
what I mean?
man.
I can't wait to see you asleep on the couch with the 2 girls. Like, I can't wait to see you rolling around in your truck with the 2 girls. Like, I just can't, like, watching you be a dad is just the most beautiful thing in the world. Like, y'all think it's cute. I'm here and I live it every single day. It's cuter in person. It's more amazing in person. And to
Thanks,
see,
baby.
like, I know what it's like to have like a dad that you just love and admire and just pours into you. Like, I have the best dad in the world, you know? So to see the fact that Emery reminds me so much of me, you and Emery remind me so much of me and my dad. I don't know what it's like to throw another kid in there. I can only imagine I'm just going to die. of like happiness and love. So I'm excited about that. And then I'm also excited about like, I love being a girl mom. Like I love pouring into E. I
Oh, you get to
love,
be a super duper,
you know,
super califragilistic girl
I
mom now.
think even though my mom and I butt heads a lot, like she's just instilled so much into me as far as like being a confident, intelligent, ambitious Black woman. You know what I mean? Like it's very specific to being an immigrant, a Black woman, the first to do shit. You know what I mean? Like my mom has a lot of firsts. You know what I mean? She's just a star. You know what I mean? So it's just like being able to bring another woman into that mix. Like Sydney's gonna have my mom as a grandmother, me as a mother, and E as a big sister. Like sis,
That's three really
you can
confident.
literally do whatever. Like Emery is good, but Sydney can do whatever. Sydney, you can do whatever you want because you got 3 bad women. That's like you can do it all.
and
So
and who
do it.
mean that and just don't say that
Yeah.
as giving lip service.
And who will pour into you for the rest of your life.
I did an interview one time and it was on a podcast and the dude asked me, he had daughters too. He was like, what's your biggest hope for your daughter? And I was like, I hope my daughter grows into the kind of woman who sees other powerful women and she feels empowered and inspired and ignited and not bitter and jaded and start attacking because she feels like she's less. And I feel like that kind of confidence sometimes comes from having other people around you who are that confident, like your mom and your grandma who know that your greatness lives independent of what other people do or say or think about you. And the fact that I have 2 girls, the thing that scared me about having a son is that I was afraid because I know, just like you say about your mom, I know I got a big personality. I know I'm this big presence. I know it. I know. I'm very well aware. And I didn't want my son. I'm also big on young men being their own man.
Yeah.
I've
To live in your
mentored and
shadow.
developed a lot of young men, and I didn't want my son to feel like he had to live in my shadow. That terrifies me. Look at
Yeah.
superstars' children. Sometimes they have a rough time
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
identify their own thing. He'll never be himself. He'll always be Kier Gaines' son, which is different than being Kier Gaines' daughter.
Yeah.
When you're trying to figure out who you are as your own man. So, the fact that my girls don't have to deal with that, man, I've seen a lot of people try to struggle through that in therapy, and my girls aren't gonna have to deal with that. And they got the right mom, man. It's so important. Man, this might sound crazy. I don't care. I gotta say, it's so important the woman you choose to help you raise your daughter and the women, man. It's so important. It's so important, baby. And I'm just glad that you got like real confidence. And not confidence that somebody just gave you from the outside and you can't manufacture it yourself. You need the external validation in order to feel that. You don't do that. Like your confidence exists whether or not people say anything. And I love that because you're going to feed that to my babies and they're going to feed that to their babies. And that's how you build money. That's how you build generational wealth. Money just gives you access. If you can't do the right shit with the access, then you're not going to get much. Or you'll just be famous for being famous. Like, you'll have an empty contribution to the world, but or at least surface level. But yeah, I'm happy about that. I'm happy that you're the one that's going to help me raise these girls and the women, man, because I don't know nothing about raising no women.
You know more than you think, man. You know more than you think. Look at your followership. It's all me. It's all Black women. Like, we're the majority of your followership. It's because, like, it's like, you don't know that you know, but we know you know.
Go ahead, man.
You
I know
know?
exactly. I'm mad I understood that. And I'm mad you understood that.
You knew exactly. Okay, can I say one more thing that I'm excited
Man,
about?
you can say FOMO thing.
Okay. You know my obsession.
Come on, fix your face.
No, because I'm
Come
so
on.
excited
It's
to
level
say
80
this.
joy.
You know how I feel about Miss Tina.
Oh, Tina Knowles?
I get to be Miss Tina.
Oh, that's not her name no more. Tina.
It's Tina Knowles something. Hold on, let me go on Instagram real quick. Tina Knowles Lawson.
Oh.
But everybody used to be like, I want to be Beyonce. I want to be Beyonce. I'm like, nah, I want to be Tina. I want to be the person that said that I raised these amazing women, that those women call me mama. You know what I mean? And it's just like, this is my chance. I mean, not to say that Emery and Sydney had to be like Beyonce and Sydney, but like, I just wonder what it feels like. Oh, Sydney. I said Sydney again. Beyonce and Solange. I wonder what it feels like to wake up in the morning and to realize that your children are Beyonce and Solange, like women who are just known for being these just like powerful, inspirational people who like just change the world. And like a lot of that is a testament to who you were as a mother, how you supported them, how you nurtured them, how you loved them. You know what I mean? Like the pride that you must feel. Like, I don't need to be the star. I've never desired to be the star. Like, my goal as a girl mom is to make sure that my girls know that they're supported and they can do whatever they want. You know what I mean? Like, that's so important to, I've lived my life.
Yeah.
Like, I've lived my, I mean, of course I have a lot more life to live, but it's just like, I want the first half of their lives to be as important and as influential as mine have been. You know, like, I don't want to stand in the way.
Yeah.
I don't want to stand in their way. I want them to know that, like,
I don't want to
whatever
stand in
you
their way.
need, whatever you need, I got you. Like, that's my job. My job is to protect you and to make sure you know that you can do this.
I've seen so many parents, like I've seen moms who become like jealous of their daughters.
I mean, it's
and become
easy
really
to,
vindictive.
yeah.
Yeah. And I don't see that in you because you want for them so much even now.
Yeah.
And that's just, man, it's, and even back to like Tina Knowles Lawson, like to be able to birth Beyonce, but also to be able to birth Solange, who's able to hold her own, even though her big sister is Beyonce. That's an accomplishment right there.
Granted, we don't know their inner lives, but from what it looks like on the outside, Miss Tina, you need an award.
A mama award.
Oprah needs to do, you know how Oprah did the father
Yeah,
thing? She needs to do a mama
joint.
thing. And Miss Tina Lawson, you need an award, okay? You need an award. I will make you an award.
Out of what?
I don't know. What you like?
I'm in this place where I refuse to like put out fake gratitude or, man, I'm so grateful for. I'm trying to make sure that my emotions match what I actually feel. And so I'm not like overstating how grateful I am. I'm just allowing myself to feel it.
Yeah.
You know, and just be in the moment and enjoy it as it comes, because when Booby, like, that time moved quick. And now I know exactly how much time is leaving me. I know what 4 years of baby time feel like. It's like that.
You gonna have to remind yourself, though, because you never feel it when you in it.
Man.
Real quick, can you pick her up?
Yeah, I can pick her up. All right. That means it's time to go.
I need to go lay down.
Okay, that really means it's time to go. Hey, we appreciate y'all coming in and listening to us talk and being a part of our conversation. Also want you to be a part of the family, so make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification button so that you can know of all of our posts as soon as they post. That transition was fire.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to be able to pull it off.
I was ready to hop on just in case I needed to.
You always ready, boo. We are about to start posting day in the life videos again more frequently. Yep, and we're about to start posting the sit down talk more frequently, get into a nice little groove.
And I'm going to be editing the day in the life video.
Let's give it.
If you're looking for Kier's smooth transitions, give me 6 months, all right? Give me some time. Because I am still on iMovie. What are you on? Final X Pro, whatever?
They don't even know that.
No, but I want them to know, because we in this together,
You're
okay?
doing a good job. Noémie editing video. She edited that last joint, man. Yeah. What you doing? You
I mean, you know, I learned from the best.
So, yeah, you did.
We're ridiculous, y'all.
We appreciate y'all. We thank y'all. And we're going to see y'all again on the next Sit Down Talk. Yes. Yeah, what the was that?
That was a burp from the inside.
All right, we got to go. My wife is exploded from the inside out.
I'm pregnant, man. Shit is weird.
Y'all take care. We catch y'all next time.